So we find that Fushi is the greatest weapon against the Knockers, which he actually has always been. But what happens when you are the greatest weapon, yet you go down in battle through fatigue? Then what is left? So anyway, I hope you guys are doing all right. We just got done watching the episodes 14 and 15 of To Your Eternity Season 2. And right now, Fushi is sticking to his guns. When he first entered town, he was all like, oh, I don't need anyone's help. I don't need, I'm gonna take care of all of this myself as far as the battle. We don't need to win the hearts of anyone. We don't need to be, but Bond and all them was like, no, this is what we need to do. We need to win the hearts of the people, the princess, we need everyone's help. Well, the battle finally comes, and what happens? Everyone's sitting there bored. They're literally bored. They literally get saying, hey, we're bored here. They're bored because Fushi is single-handedly handing it to the Knockers, which I'll give it up to the Knockers. I was not expecting trebuchets from the Knockers. I was expecting them to do like they normally do, dig under somewhere and attack the walls, all this stuff. When I saw trebuchets and they're launching, I'm like, wait, where did they get this technology? Okay, all right, give it up to the Knockers. I guess they were preparing to battle as well. But Fushi stuck to his guns. He was like, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be fighting them for the most part, and he was. But I guess he underestimated the fact that when you control a whole domain, which he pretty much has the whole city, that is him. He's rebuilt even the castle at this point. Everything is technically him. And when you're kind of that big, you need more resources. It's gonna take so much out of you. He's protecting it, all the walls, north, south, east, and west, and trying to take out as many of the Knockers. He's hitting them from wherever they're at. And so I was like, oh wow, they're just sitting there like, well, we're doing nothing. So it astonished me the fact that they were actually bored. Here they are, the guys that want to protect their own city, but then they're doing nothing. They're just sitting back, absolutely doing nothing, because Fushi's doing all the work. And I'm like, excuse me, hello? This is literally a battle for life and death, and you guys are sitting here bored. How can you say this? But I'll give it up to the Knockers also being smart and poisoning themselves. To poison the water, to poison the people in the city from the water. I mean, this is the tactics is coming from Fushi, who has been learning to get better and actually learn how to increase like his domain, like base, he's trying to get to the part where the man in black is saying he wants to have him strong enough to where he can create oceans. He's got to the point where he's creating a whole city. Knockers are sitting there like, yeah, this is the reason why we are preparing to battle, because they're making trebuchets, have tactics as far as like poisoning ourselves. It's like, dang, okay. And then you find out the boulders that they've been throwing is full of Knockers. Like the Knockers are literally inside the boulders that these big spheres that they've been hitting the city walls with. That blew my mind. I was like, oh, there are a lot of them. So I give it up for the Knockers actually not being like how they used to fight. Both sides have actually gotten better, and actually this war. One thing that was actually pretty interesting was the fact that the man in black revealed that he wants Fushi to get bigger and better and stronger, smarter, to where he may even take over his place. And then the question begged to like, do you plan on stepping down or from your own choice of doing it, or you just want to do it? Like are you being made, like, he's gonna die or something, so he needs Fushi? Or is it just, I'm bored in life, I want someone to take over for me? So that was a pretty interesting reveal in the previous episode, but this one was all about the battle, and it was actually a pretty good battle, and I'm looking forward to next week as the battle continues. Fushi just does not know how to control himself, and what I mean by that is he doesn't know how. He keeps pushing himself. He pushes himself very, very hard, which is all fine and dandy. But when you're the most powerful weapon for their humanity, the people of this city, and you go down to fatigue, then what else is there? Instead of working together, if they work together from go, where Fushi is like, okay, I'm gonna handle the knockers at this distance. When they get closer, you guys handle it from this distance. You know, from go, Fushi wouldn't have felt fatigued. And then it's like, oh no, I'm just gonna handle everything. So that's Fushi's biggest mistake, underestimating not only himself, his enemy, and not actually confiding in others. Like he wants to be friends with others, but then he doesn't actually let them do things. And of course, we have Bon and his secret mission, which is about to come to fruition here. Having the 3 people, Messer and them, that he had with him die, and then secretly try to have them come back to life because they would end up being immortal. And what better to have someone being a good warrior than being an immortal warrior? So I believe in next episode we're going to see the fact that they're going to come back alive. Their deaths were shown in this episode, and they kind of recap their deaths, but to me their deaths weren't even like that big of a deal. They kind of somewhat died off screen, and then we saw the teeth flying, and at first I forgot, I was like, why is someone's teeth on the ground? And then I remembered that the one guy who's 18, the younger one, that, you know, a few episodes ago it was learned all his teeth were pulled, that he actually has false teeth. So when you see an explosion, all of a sudden his teeth are flying, and then it's like, ah, he died. And it took me a moment to remember that. But biggest reveal, which I've kind of left this for last, but the biggest reveal that March is alive, is back, and he doesn't even realize it yet. I can't wait till he finds out that March is back alive. Because March, one of the first emotional deaths in this show from the first season. So to actually have her come back is just such a great juxtaposition. If you notice, especially when they first showed her, every time they kept showing March, they showed flowers as well, like flowers as if she's being reborn, and these bed of flowers, and she brings purity and all this, you know, the flowers. Even when it was about to show a scene of her, flowers were showering down the scene. It's like, I see what they're doing here. I see what they're doing. And I'm looking forward to actually March coming in, and it seems the ropes that attach the bodies to Fushi, no ropes. They're on their own. Spirit goes into it, bam, they're back alive. And Bon knows this because there was a scene where Bon was asking, it was like, where is she? Because he can see their spirits. And then when he looked around to look at the spirits, he's like, wait, there's one missing. But he's not telling Fushi anything because, you know, they are in the middle of a battle as well. But these were some crazy episodes, and although the deaths of Messer and them weren't, like I said, that catastrophic, like, oh my god, you know, you see that they died, and you're like, oh man, how'd they die? And then they actually show you through Echo, which I'll give it up for Echo. Echo is the MVP here. She straight up was like, you know what? Straight up cut off her hair, put on a helmet, and was like, I'm ready for war. I was like, you know what? More power to you, Echo. So yes, great episodes. I'm looking forward to next week's, because I believe next week is going to be really good. And I have the feeling that Bon is going to make sure that he cuts the rope and make sure they come back alive. And which would actually kind of be helpful, to be honest. But we'll see how that goes. What'd you guys think of the episode? I thought it was really good. To Your Eternity it's been a great show. Pulling on your heartstrings, or just emotionally a good show. And also through battles and war and all this. So it has so many different aspects that's very good about the show. I really much enjoy it. And let me know what you guys think about the show itself and what you like about it, because I enjoy it. But you guys take care. Hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. We'll be back next week. And until then, be safe, take care. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.